Exodus chapter 38. Also he made the altar of the burnt offering of shittim wood. 5 cubits was the length thereof, and 5 cubits the breadth thereof. It was square and 3 cubits high. And he made unto it horns in the 4 corners thereof. The horns thereof were of the same, and he overlaid it with brass. Also he made all the instruments of the altar, the ashpans, and the besoms, and the basins, the fleshhooks, and the censers, all the instruments thereof made he of brass. Moreover, he made a brazen grate, wrought like a net, to the altar, under the compass of it beneath in the midst of it, and cast 4 rings of brass for the 4 ends of the grate to put bars in. And he made the bars of shittim wood, and covered them with brass. The which bars he put into the rings on the sides of the altar, to bear it withal, and made it hollow within the boards. Also he made the laver of brass, and the foot of it of brass, of the glasses of the women that did assemble and came together at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. Finally he made the court on the south side, full south. The hangings of the court were of fine twined linen, having 100 cubits. Their pillars were 20, and their brazen sockets 20. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets were of silver. And on the north side the hangings were 100 cubits. Their pillars 20, and their sockets of brass 20, the hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver. On the west side also were hangings of 50 cubits, their 10 pillars, with their 10 sockets, the hooks of the pillars, and their fillets of silver. And toward the east side, full east, were hangings of 50 cubits. The hangings of the one side were 15 cubits, their 3 pillars, and their 3 sockets. And of the other side of the court gate, on both sides, were hangings of 15 cubits, with their 3 pillars and their 3 sockets. All the hangings of the court round about were of fine twined linen. But the sockets of the pillars were of brass, the hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver, and the covering of their chapiters of silver. And all the pillars of the court were hooped about with silver. He made also the hanging of the gate of the court of needlework, blue silk, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen, even 20 cubits long, and 5 cubits in height and breadth, like the hangings of the court. And their pillars were 4 with their 4 sockets of brass, their hooks of silver, and the covering of the chapiters, and their fillets of silver. But all the pins of the tabernacle and of the court round about were of brass. These are the parts of the tabernacle, of the tabernacle of the testimony, which was appointed by the commandment of Moses for the office of the Levites, by the hand of Ithamar, son to Aaron the priest. So Bezalel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, made all that the Lord commanded Moses. And with him Aholiab, son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan, a cunning workman, and an embroiderer, and a worker of needlework in blue silk, and in purple, and in scarlet, and in fine linen. All the gold that was occupied in all the work wrought for the holy place, which was the gold of the offering, was 29 talents, and 730 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary. But the silver of them that were numbered in the congregation was 100 talents, and 1,770 and 5 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary. A portion for a man, that is, half a shekel after the shekel of the sanctuary, for all them that were numbered from 20 years old and above, among 600,000 and 3,550 men. Moreover, there were 100 talents of silver to cast the sockets of the sanctuary, and the sockets of the veil, 100 sockets of 100 talents, a talent for a socket. But he made the hooks for the pillars of 1,775 shekels, and overlaid their chapiters, and made fillets about them. Also the brass of the offering was 70 talents, and 2,400 shekels. Whereof he made the sockets to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the brazen altar, and the brazen grate which was for it, with all the instruments of the altar. And the sockets of the court round about, and the sockets for the court gate, and all the pins of the tabernacle, and all the pins of the court round about.